Welcome to the Mindful Studio. My name is Miranda. I am a certified personal trainer and registered holistic nutritionist. And I'm here today to share with you a leg day. You're going to do a follow along leg day with me. This is my first time doing a video like this, so let me know what you think. We're going to start with a warm up, the full leg day, and then a cool down. This is a leg day that whether you're at the gym or at home, you can do entirely just with dumbbells. But we're going to roll through our stretches now. Make sure that I'm in the frame. Perfect. So from here, we're going to hug the knee in towards the chest, pull across the body to the other side, and then we're cactusing through the other arm just for a little stretch, low back, glutes, everything. We'll switch over to the other side. So knee comes across the other side of the body, cactus through the other arm. And then from here, hug the knees in towards the chest. You can make some circles with the knees. And then we're gonna roll ourselves up and we're gonna go into some cat-cow stretches, and my hands have already started to ride up. We love that. So from our tabletop position, we're gonna go chest opens, heart opens. Breathe in, sounds like I'm snurfling. And then we're gonna round through the back. Breathe out. So we're just creating space here through the spine. We breathe in, chest comes up, and we round into our cow. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of nervous for this, even though I do this all day, every day for a living. I've never actually recorded myself. So I'm probably gonna forget what things are called, even though I've been a trainer for almost 10 years. All right. From here, what I'm going to get you to do is step your right foot to the outside of your hands. Make sure that I don't flash anybody on camera. And then from here, you're going to lift that back knee. We're going into our lizard stretch. So a little movement here, shifting forward and backward through the hips. And then you're going to keep that left hand planted firmly on the ground with the right arm. We're going to lift, sweep up, gaze will follow. Don't want to lose my microphone. And then we're gonna lower, knee can come back down, switching over to the other side. Little child's pose in between. So we get that left hand to the outside, or left foot to the outside of the hands. We're gonna lift that right knee. Little movement back and forth, opening up through the hips. Beautiful. And then we're gonna lift that left hand up. Gaze will follow. Perfect. Hand comes down, both knees to the ground. Let's take a nice wide knee child's pose. 3 deep breaths here. Last one. And then we're just gonna warm up and activate through the core before we get into some of our dumbbell movements. So we're gonna start with some dead bugs. Let's go for 2 sets of 20 dead bugs. You wanna make sure starting position, lower back imprinted in towards the mat. Knees are gonna come up to tabletop, arms to the center of the chest, and we're gonna send opposite arm, opposite leg back. So right arm is going to extend back as the left leg extends, and then we pull to center. So you just wanna make sure here that that knee that is in tabletop is staying locked into place. The closer you bring that knee in towards your chest, the easier it's going to be. And obviously we want to be challenging ourselves here and activating through the abs. So try and keep it a little bit further away from your chest if you can. If you find that you're having pain in your low back when you're doing this, you can remove the arm portion of the movement and just alternate extending your legs. If that feels better, you can also add a little bit of support underneath your lower back by using your hands. Now let's see if I can count right here. We got 4 left, last 4, 3, 2, beautiful, last one. All right, a little rest before we get into our second set here. So again, if anything hurts your body, anything feels uncomfortable, you don't have to do it. I'll try my best to give alternatives. 2 different exercises, but again, listen to your body. If anything feels weird, you are more than welcome to just skip it out or follow one of the suggestions for an alternative. All right, let's get those knees back into tabletop, arms back to the center of the chest. Let's go for another 20. So the other thing you want to make sure that you're paying attention to here is keeping your arms nice and straight, locking out through the elbows. And you also want to make sure that your tempo is on the slower side. The faster you go doesn't necessarily always mean the better something is going to end up being for you. So if you can try your best, keep the movement slow, controlled. We're halfway there, we're almost done. 5 more on each side. Make sure you're breathing out. Last 3. Good. I don't normally talk while doing abs, so this is a fun challenge for me. Good, 1 more on each side. And we take a little rest, we're gonna get into the weights. First move we're gonna be starting off with is a B stance Romanian deadlift with an internal rotation. So working a lot of the glutes and the hamstrings in this exercise. I would say, depending on your level, you want to find a weight that is going to be challenging but still possible to complete for your last approximately like 2 reps. We're gonna go for 8 reps on each side, 4 rounds total. So I'm gonna go for a 40-pound dumbbell. However, choose the weight that works best for you. So I'm going to start with the weight in my right hand. Left foot is gonna come slightly further in front of me on the floor. I'm making sure that I'm keeping my hip squared forward and both of my feet are parallel and squared forward as well. So starting here, we're hinging at the hip with a slight bend in the knee. As we're coming down, we're rotating into that front leg, and then we drive to stand all the way through. So we rotate, we hinge, and we drive all the way through, making sure you're keeping your belly button pulled in towards your spine, and you're really focusing on pushing your hips back to bring your torso parallel to the floor, rather than bringing your torso to the floor first. You're using your hips to push and bring you down. Last one here. Beautiful work. And we're gonna switch sides. So again, those last 2 reps should be difficult, but still possible to complete. Moving on to the other side, I've got my right foot forward, dumbbells in my left hand. Again, hips are still squared, about hip distance apart. Little softness in the knees. We're pushing, hinging, and we lift. You might find that one side is a little bit easier to complete than the other. One side is a little bit more challenging. That's all normal. And then making sure that as you're hinging, getting that little bit of rotation in towards that front leg, keeping locked in through the core. We have 2 more on this side. Beautiful. Last one. And we're gonna take a little rest. So we are gonna superset, oops, don't wanna lose my mic. We are gonna superset this exercise with a dumbbell sumo squat using the same dumbbell that you used for your Romanian deadlifts. So we're gonna go super wide in the feet, wider than hip distance apart. Heels are gonna come in slightly, point the toes out ever so slightly. How you choose to hold the dumbbells up to you, whatever feels most comfortable. You can hold it in a fist grip like this, just out, down in front of you, shoulders back and down, and then we're bending through the knees, breathe out to stand up. Want to get nice and low in our squat, and we're going for 10. Breathing out as we come up to stand, breathing in as we lower. I think that was 5. You're probably counting better than I am because you want this to be over, and I feel you. Last 3. 2, and last one. Nice. All right, that was round 1. No more surprises. I'm turning the fan on because now I'm hot and sweaty. Okay, let's hit those RDLs again. I'm going to show you a different angle with a little bit more of my feet so you can see exactly what's going on. All right, starting back again with that left leg forward, dumbbell in the right hand, and we hinge and we extend. Staying straight through the cervical spine here. Gaze is forward and down on the floor. Already over halfway there. Last 3, 2, and last 1. Whew, okay. I don't know how I feel about choosing that 40-pound dumbbell to also be talking throughout this. I wonder what weight you guys chose. I hope you like it. If not, you can always change it up. We're only on the second set. We lift. We hinge. Breath out. Stand. And we hinge. Whew. Halfway there on this one. Beautiful. Last 4. Breathe out. 3. Almost done. 2. Make sure you're keeping the core engaged. And last 1. All right. Dumbbell comes down to the floor. Take a second. Whew. Shake it out. Dance it out. I gotta catch my breath. I'm asthmatic. I don't know why I thought talking through a workout would be a good idea. Let's lift this up a little bit so you can still see what's happening in the legs. Let's give you a different view. All right. Dumbbell comes down. I'm gonna go underhand grip. Nice and low. Bend in the knees, gazes forward. Breathe out. And we stand. Send the hips back, bend the knees. Breathe out, we stand. This is 3. My dog's coming to say hi. Hi, Ruby. If you're a client of mine in the studio, you know she always comes to inspect, making sure everyone is doing their workouts, enjoying themselves, and then she leaves. Last 3. Last 2. Good, last 1. Nice, all right, we're halfway through. 2 rounds left. You got this. Little break. All right, we're back in action. We got 2 more rounds. Let's get this done so we can move on. All right, same thing as before. We have that left foot forward and we have the dumbbell in our right hand. Feet hip distance apart and we're hinging, rotating in towards that front leg. We extend and we stand. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, last 2, and last 1. All right, let's switch over to the other side. Right foot forward, dumbbell comes into the left hand, feet hip distance apart. We hinge and we lift. Hinging into that front leg and lifting. If you want to bring your other hand to your hip crease, like how I have it here for support, by all means, go ahead. That gives you a little bit more support. Last 3. Whew. Feeling this. 2. Good. Last 1. All right. Dumbbell comes in between the hands. Feet comes nice and wide apart. Toes pointed out. And we squat down for 10. 9. 8. Get nice and low. 7. Chest up. 6. Core into spine. 5. Last 4, we breathe out as we stand. Last 3, 2, and last 1. All right. Take a little rest there before our final round. All right, last round. We're starting in that same positioning one final time. Dumbbell comes in front of the foot. We're hinging and we extend. 1, 2, 3, halfway there. Last time this side. Core is locked in. Last 3, 2. This is where it starts to hurt. That didn't make any sense. Those last 2 should be where it starts to hurt. That makes more sense. Dumbbell comes into the left hand. Hinge, and we lift. Hinge, and lift. 3, halfway there. Whew. Good. Last 4, you got this. 3, 2. Beautiful. Last one here. Finish nice and strong. All right. I had massage this morning, so everything feels nice and soft. Maybe a little bit too loose. We're gonna go nice and wide in the feet. Toes point out, heels point in. 1 more round, 10 squats. Let's go. Underhand grip, shoulders back. Breathe out, and we stand. 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2 more here. And last one. Finish strong. All right. That was round 1. We got 2 more rounds to go of supersets. All right, superset round 2. I'm dropping the weight down to a 30-pound dumbbell, so I'm dropping it down by 10 pounds because that last one was feeling a little heavy. We're gonna start using something that you can put your back foot on. So whether that's a stair, a small but very sturdy stool. I'm using a Pilates box for my Pilates reformer. You could also use a plyo box. Really anything that is sturdy and not going to move and has enough space for your foot. We're gonna go for some rear foot elevated split squats. So I'm elevating my right foot back on the block. I have about 2 feet distance between the block and then also my front heel. Depending on the length of your legs, you might find you want to step it out forward a little bit or back a little bit. You can see I just have a slight bend through my front knee, and then I'm almost at 90 degrees with my back leg. What we're going to do, keeping the chest up, we're bending through both knees, coming down nice and low. We breathe out to stand. We're going to go for 8 on each side. You just want to make sure that you are staying stable through the torso. You're not leaning any which way. Last 3 here. Core is tight. Last 2. Last 1. And we switch over to the other side. Now I prefer to hold the dumbbell unilaterally in a suitcase position, but if you prefer to hold it contralaterally, so here I have the right foot forward, dumbbell in the right hand, but if you prefer halfway there to go holding it in your left hand here, by all means, be my guest. Last 2 and last 1. Take a little rest here, catch your breath. We are going to superset with single leg Romanian deadlifts. So I like to work, oh my God, I'm so out of breath. I like to work front and back whenever I'm doing leg day supersets. So we just hit the quads and the glutes. Let's hit the hammies and the glutes. So let's start on that right leg because it's my strong side. You want to make sure you have a solid base of support on the standing leg. So a little softness in the knee, you never want to lock out. All the toes are spread evenly on the floor within your shoe. I'm in socks, but if you're in a shoe, try and spread your toes out. Same mechanisms as a regular deadlift. So we're going to extend that left leg up, and then I'm pushing my hips back, hinging, breathing up to stand. Same thing, we're going to go for 8 on each side. If this is too much for you, just place that back toe on the floor and hinge from there instead. Last 3, 2, last 1 here. We're going to switch sides. Good, making sure that big toe is imprinted in towards the ground and everything is nice firmly spread out. We hinge and we stand. Little softness, little bend in that front knee. Making sure you're keeping your hips squared down towards the floor, not rotating too much. And again, same mechanisms as your deadlift, hinging, pushing the hips back, and then straightening. Last one. That's round 1. We got 3 to go. Take a little water break. All right, we're back at it for round 2. Starting with that right foot forward, left toes back behind you on whatever your block support is, bending down to pick up the dumbbell. I'm going to show you contralaterally this time actually. So let's hold that dumbbell in the left hand, right leg is forward, squaring the torso, we bend and we extend, we lift. We breathe out, we breathe in. If you need to adjust your feet, take a second. You want to make sure you're feeling comfortable. Last 3 on the side before we switch. We're almost there. 2, last 1. I am burning up. Okay, let's switch right away. Let's get this over with. Left foot forward, dumbbell in the right hand, or keep it unilateral, whatever you feel. We bend and we extend. We bend and extend. 3, 4, halfway, 5, 6, 7, last 1. Beautiful. All right, take a second, catch your breath. Whew. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. We're gonna hit those single leg RDLs. All right, let's hit these ones contralaterally as well. So, dumbbell in my left hand, right leg planted. We hinge and we bring it up. Bending my knee as I bring my leg back in, halfway there. Last 4. Staring at one spot on the floor if you find that helps. 2, last 1, and we're gonna switch. Left leg forward, dumbbell in the right hand, we hinge, and we extend. I am so much less stable on my left side. If you heard a farting noise, that is my sweaty armpit, not me actually farting. Last 2, there it is again. Good, last one. And let's rest. All right, we have 2 rounds left of our superset. Let's get after it. So we got that right foot forward, left leg behind us, and I'm going back to unilateral, but you can decide if you want to go contralateral or unilateral. Right hand, right leg forward, chest squared, hips squared, we lower it and we lift. 2, 3, we're halfway there. Last 4, core tight. 3, get nice and low. 2, and last 1. Beautiful work. On to the other side. Dumbbell comes into the left hand for me. Right foot comes back. And we lower for 8, 7. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Beautiful. All right, take a second, catch your breath. Man, it just gets harder after every set. Crazy business. Okay, I'm going back to unilateral for my RDLs. Dumbbell in the right hand, right foot plants, left leg lifts. Let's get it. We hinge and we extend. We hinge, lift. 3, halfway mark. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I'm losing my balance. Last one. Beautiful. My foot cracked. I have an old foot injury, and sometimes it cracks and puts me off my balance. All right, dumbbell in the left hand, left leg planted. We hinge and we lift. We hinge and we lift. On this weaker side, I just feel so much more stable holding the dumbbell unilaterally. Breathe out, breathe in. Last 3, 2 more here. Beautiful. Last 1. All right. Take a second, take a sip of water. We're going back for one last round. All right, we have our last round. Like I coach, oh my gosh. Like I coach with my clients in the studio, you know your body better than I do. So as far as rest in between sets goes, take as long as you feel that you need in order for your heart rate to come down slightly, for your lactic acid in your muscles to kind of, vacate the premises a little bit. And then whenever you're ready, let's get going. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4 on the side, final 3, 2, last 1. Let's switch one last time. Oh my gosh, losing my balance. Left leg forward, right leg back. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's hit those single leg RDLs one final time. Right leg planted. Let's hinge for 8, 7, 6, 5, Last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. One last switch, left leg forward. Last set of 8, let's do this. Whew. Losing my balance. Last 5. You got this. Maintain that little bend in the knee for support. Last 2. Making like weird fingers in my other hand. And last 1. All right, one more superset. We're almost at the end of the workout. You've made it this far. Don't give up now. About another 10 minutes left. Last superset of class, we're gonna hit a single leg hip thrust on either a bench or a block, some sort of elevated raised surface that is sturdy. And then we're gonna superset with a curtsy lunge. It's only the first video that I'm recording. Who knows what will happen in the subsequent ones. All right, so you wanna make sure that you have a comfortable positioning of your back on the block. I usually like just about below the bra line or just below your shoulder blades, whatever feels comfortable. Making sure your hips are squared, feet are hip distance apart, and then we're gonna offset slightly. So I'm gonna start on the right leg, making sure that my heel is close enough in towards my hips so that I'm not, using too much of my hamstrings in the movement. I'm gonna breathe out, lift straight up, squeezing through that right glute. Left knee is coming up high. We lower, my chin will come down with me. I lift and lower, tap and lift. 8 on each side. Halfway there. Last 4, breathe out, breathing in, breathing out. Last 2. Gorgeous, nice, slow, controlled movement, keeping the hips squared. Last 1. Left foot comes down, right leg lifts, and we're gonna lower, chin comes down, and we lift. This block is a little short for me. I'm not tall, but I have long legs. I might switch over to my taller block for the next set. But last 4, 3, 2, and last 1. Gorgeous work. All right. Dumbbell tosses over to the other side. We're going into our curtsy lunge. I'm going to come behind here so you can see me. These shorts are just notorious for giving me wedgies, so I apologize. All right, we're going to goblet that dumbbell. So I'm holding it nice and high in towards my chest, sort of right around my sternum area. We're going to be working through the right side first. We're going to send that left leg back and to the side, bending through both of the knees, and we straighten. Ooh, losing my balance. Okay, that was a fake one. Let's go for real now. Left leg back, bend through both knees, and lift. You wanna make sure you have enough space between your feet so that you're not too crunched up. Last 4, 3, 2, last one here. We're gonna switch over to the other side. Left leg comes forward, right leg comes back, off to the side slightly. We bend and extend. 2, 3, 4, halfway, 5, last 3, 2, and 1. Take a little rest here. That's round 1, 3 to go, and then you're done your workout. All right, so again, you wanna make sure you're comfortable, bra line just about at the corner of the box. And we're gonna start with that right foot planted, left leg up, bringing it down, breathe out, we extend straight up. Breathe out, come down, beautiful. Halfway, last 4, 3, 2, last 1, and we switch. Making sure we're using that glute to drive us up. 1, 2, moving on, we're on that left leg now. 3, halfway there. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, lower down. Dumbbell comes to the floor. Let's hit those curtsies. If you find that it's too hard to hold the dumbbell up in that high goblet position, you can suitcase it. So starting on that right side, left leg comes back. We're bending and standing. 2, 3, keeping that chest up, halfway there. Last 4, 3, bending both knees, 2, core tight, last 1, and we switch. Left leg comes forward, right leg comes back, bend, and extend. 3, halfway there here. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. That's the end of round 2. We have 2 rounds to go. I'm gonna grab a sip of water and then we're gonna finish out nice and strong. All right, we are ready for those last 2 rounds. Let's get that dumbbell up on the hip crease, comfortable position of the back on the block, and let's lift it up. Right foot plants, left leg lifts, hips are squared. Let's lower and extend. Last 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. And let's switch. Left leg plants, right leg lifts. Let's go for 8, 7, using the strength of that glute to bring you up. Last 5, 4, 3, legs are shaking, 2, last 1. Whew. All right, lower that dumbbell down. Let's lift ourselves up. And I'm gonna just fix that wedgie. None of you guys need to see that. All right, starting back on that right side, I'm keeping the dumbbell down. We're gonna go left leg behind. So we're crossing at the legs, bending both knees, and we lift. Again, chest stays upright, making sure you have enough space in between your feet that you can bend both knees and straighten without crunching. Last 2 this side. Good. Last 1. And we switch. Right leg comes back. Oh my God. Right leg comes back, left leg forward. We bend and extend. 2, 3, halfway there, get nice and low. Last 4, 3, 2, last 1. All right, let's finish strong. 1 last set. We can do this, then we can stretch and it's all over. For this last round, I'm gonna start on my left side, just because it's my weaker side. So it's good to switch it up every now and again. Back on the block, feet plant, we lift. That right foot lifts and we lower and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm starting to burn out. 7, last 1. Beautiful. Let's switch. Right leg plants, left leg lifts. 1, 2, we're almost there. 3, 4, 5, almost done. 6, last 2, 7, and 8. All right, dumbbell to the ground. Let's power this out. 1 more wedgie fix. How embarrassing. All right, let's lift that dumbbell. Again, choice to bring it to the sternum or keep it down low. I'm gonna start on my left side, left foot forward, right foot back. We bend for 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, 3, 2, 1 more this side, you can do it. 1, and we switch. Right foot forward, left foot back. Let's go. 8, 7, almost done. 6, last 5, 4, 3, you got this. 2, last 1. Nice. All right, Toss that dumbbell off to the side. I'm moving my block out of the way, and let's hit a beautiful, beautiful stretch. Let's start back in our cat-cow, wrist directly beneath the elbows and the shoulders. Chest comes forward, breathe in. Big exhale, breathe out, and round. We breathe in, chest comes forward. Let the heart rate come down, round, through the upper back. Breathe in. Nice work today. Take a moment, one more breath here to thank your body and thank yourself for showing up today and showing just how strong you are. We're gonna go knees come nice and wide, send the hips back towards the feet, arms come long, and then chest can come down, forehead will follow. A few beautiful, deep, cleansing breaths in our child's pose. From our child's pose, we're gonna walk ourselves back up to tabletop. I'm gonna bring that right foot to step outside of my hands, and then I'm gonna shuffle it across the floor. So now it's towards the outside edge, left edge of the mat. I'm gonna try not to fall over. That right knee is gonna come down towards the mat. The left leg extends behind. If you can't find your right glute on the mat, you can always place a little yoga block underneath. We're gonna start in our pigeon pose. A couple of deep breaths here. And then if you have the space and it feels good, we're gonna go forehead to the knee in our sleeping swan. A couple of deep breaths here. Should feel the heart rate and the breath returning back to normal while feeling a great stretch across the glute on that right side. And then we're gonna lift ourselves back up, back to tabletop, left foot steps and shuffles to the outside edge of the right side of the mat. Left knee comes forward, right leg extends behind. We start in pigeon. Big breath in and out, and then forehead to the knee for one final sleeping swan. Pressing ourselves up to a seated cross-legged position. We're just gonna sweep the arms up and overhead and bring those palms down in towards our chest. Thank you for joining me for this workout today. Thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. And if you like this video and want to see more, please let me know, because I would love to film my workouts to share with all of you.